Okay, well, welcome guys to Indie Comic Ninja Indie Tuesdays. I'm Dexter Jacobs.
Romondo Burnside.
Andrew Southern.
And Ben Dupé.
All right, so this week, I don't know, we are basically just covering two books. Thanks to one of our reviews, which I think we read last week, we did The Wicked and the Devine.
3 books. I'm going to do a book too.
Oh, you doing curse words?
Yep.
All right, I was actually really curious about that. I'm glad that that's here.
Yeah, it was fun.
I started Gemini, which is kind
Nice.
of like...
I started that as well.
Oh, you did? Yeah. So I only got halfway through it, but...
Cool. Well, we can talk a little bit about that. I don't know. But
Awesome.
For sure, I guess we're covering The Wicked and the Devine, The Few, and curse words. So I guess just to really start things off, how was everyone's week?
Good.
Can't complain, man.
It's been good, man. Just devouring everything, trying to catch up on shows as usual. I mean, it's the usual grind, man. Just playing and doing
for sure.
Yeah,
watching shows.
I've been playing Overwatch. Mondo, you lent me Overwatch, and I've been jamming
BioShock,
that.
you mean?
BioShock. I'm sorry, not Overwatch.
Why
did I think
Overwatch?
Overwatch?
You playing Overwatch?
Is
Did
it?
you tell me?
No.
Is it Infinite or one of the earlier ones?
I gave him the whole collection.
Yeah, I started number 1.
Yeah.
I tried starting number 2 first, and I wasn't into it that much.
I've only
but
played 2.
Yeah,
Where you're the big daddy. I like that one. It was fun.
The best one.
Yeah,
Okay.
and number 1's cool, man. I'm not normally big on like first person stuff or whatever,
But the story's so good.
but the story is fun. Yeah, It's a really interesting story.
If
so
I had to rank those, I'd say BioShock 1, then Infinite, then 2 was mine.
Yeah.
In that order. As far
So
as
there's 3 of them then. Okay, cool.
So is one you're like one of the a father of one of the girls that they use? No.
I don't want to allude to anything. It depends on how he plays out. He'll get some of
Right.
that story. But yeah, there's some.
So we don't want to spoil anything for Ben.
Yeah, but there's some fun stuff.
He's making a hobby of spoiling comic books for the world.
Yeah.
And you don't want to spoil anything for Ben. I get it.
Dude, so
Speaking of spoilers, we are a spoiler podcast, so we are going to be spoiling color books this week. I always forget to say that.
Yeah.
No, I was going to say, so I'm not much of a gamer, but like, being in nerd culture and stuff, I feel like I need to. And so my buddy, he had have you guys heard of Raspberry Pi?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so
I have not.
he ordered
Little tiny computer.
Little tiny computer. It's an operating system, right? Like Raspberry Pi is.
Yeah. Isn't it?
I think use it for emulation.
Yeah.
More or less.
So basically, this thing that I ordered, it's emulators, but it's like regular Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Sega, and PlayStation, I believe.
You got some SNES in there too?
Yeah, and it's like loaded with tons of ROMs. So
Nice.
I'm getting it next week, and I'm
Nice.
super stoked. I'm gonna play some Punch-Out.
Oh,
Tecmo.
Nice. Very
Nice.
cool.
I'm gonna have to
Very cool.
invade your house.
Yeah,
now.
dude. Yeah, I'll definitely. It sucks that I can't game with you online because it's
okay.
like old school
We're gonna
games,
get you
but-
there. We're gonna get you
Yeah,
there. That's
we'll
my
work
goal.
my
this
way
year.
there.
I'm gonna get you on board this
All right.
year.
Yeah,
All right.
we're recording the pilot episodes for Glitch Therapy right now.
Yes.
Mondo and I and the rest of the dudes from that show, and like that kind of, we had episode 1 last week or episode 0 or whatever, and like ground zero. But no, it's fun, and like I learned a lot while they were talking about it, which was pretty cool, and that got me kind of wanted to start playing games a little bit.
Are you covering like history stuff, or are you just talking about the games?
We're just chit chatting about games that we're enjoying right now. We're
Okay.
trying to keep it somewhat relevant to like what is out right now.
Right.
Yeah.
We kind of did a little bit of a grab bag of things last week because we just had a new year start, and so last year was chock full of so much good stuff.
Yeah.
that
Okay.
We just kind of did a little quick, super speedy recap of stuff that we played, things we liked, and so on. So that's pretty much all we did last week, though.
I see you got the R2D2 like I suggested.
Oh yeah,
And Ben's little terrarium here.
Yeah,
It's, desert
Gumball.
terrarium.
Yeah, I'm turning into poison ivy, man. I'm really into plants lately. I got a lot of them hanging
all
around
good.
here, but they're fun.
As
So
long as they're all not dying, I guess.
yeah, no, they're not dying. I have a lot.
I can never have a plant because of that. I forget to water it, and it's just
See,
over.
you need to get a cactus.
Yeah,
I know,
man,
I know.
That
Yeah.
one right there in the green, that cactus right there in
I
the
have a
green
cactus
pot.
on my desk at
Oh
work.
yeah, that's a nice
Yeah.
cactus.
I killed my bamboo plant. Well, I didn't kill it, but it started to be in kind of like a hospice situation.
The nice thing about bamboo,
This is revival. Yeah.
I feel like the bamboo plants, they still look alive when they're dead. So.
Yeah, but they're
that's
so
true.
fickle though, man. Like
Yeah,
you'll
no,
be
they
like
are.
perfectly good one day, and all of a sudden you'll see a yellow leaf. Like, oh my god!
Yeah.
I just
did I do?
water it once every week, man. I just pour a little
Yeah.
water in
Succulents
there.
are
Cactus?
nice.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's all
yeah.
you
No,
need.
the bamboo plant up there.
Oh, yeah?
yeah.
Oh yeah, it's right there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bamboo.
I got too many. My favorite is that airplane right there, though.
Oh, that's cute.
It just hangs out in the
Well, it's like there's no soil or anything.
It kind of looks like an alien.
Yeah, it's super weird.
It's like Dr. Seuss plant.
And they
I'm
actually
half expecting
like
it to eat me.
the people, I guess, at the nursery or whatever, they dip them in paint, like
weird.
so the tips are like purple, and like so it's kind of a psychedelic, freaky looking thing. I don't know. I like it. So
Weird.
Yeah.
Sorry, what?
No, iTunes reviews.
I was about to dive into some iTunes reviews. And I'll do a shout out. My brother gave us a review. It's easy to just say like, "Hey, your brother's giving you a review." Of course, he's going to be nice, but
Yeah.
I definitely everything I learned about music and getting back into comic books, like my brother fed it to me, and so I respect this guy a lot.
That's so weird. That's kind of like my brother.
Yeah, he's like an older brother, and so he kind of helped me along, I guess. So to his screen name is West Tang. So he says, the guys reviewing Indie Comics Weekly, both old and new. I don't have the time to read as many as I used to, so it's nice to hear 4 different takes on a book. If Indie Comics is your thing, this is a great listen to stay up on what's out there. Wow, I can't read, but
that's okay.
Thanks a lot, Wes.
Thank you.
Yeah, 5-star review. Very nice.
Yeah. Did you want to read a couple more?
Well, we got one more.
Yeah.
Because this is weird, because on my phone they're not showing up sequentially, like by date, which is what they normally do.
In the app it doesn't, but if you look at it on
computer.
the computer, you can organize it by date. Yeah.
Well, we have one more. Fun is the title, and his name, I guess, or screen name or whatever is I'm a Kevin, please love? ?
Yeah, I thought that was a good name.
And it says
Kevin, please love.
Yeah, ? Yeah.
Nice.
So, fun podcast that talks about my favorite Image comics. You guys should talk about Paper Girls. Same writer as Saga, which is Brian K. Vaughan. You might like it. Keep up the great work. So I don't know, man. I mean, I feel like if listeners are asking us to review something, we should probably let's do Paper Girls Volume 1
I
next
definitely
week.
was wanting to read it anyway. So
I really enjoyed
great.
this week's book. That Wicked and Divine was a great suggestion.
Yeah.
Let's dive into that one first.
I'm split on that. I'm very split.
Wicked and Divine?
Yes.
Yeah.
But before
we can get into that later.
Yeah. You want to?
Yeah. So last week we said we were going to draw a name, and for anyone who retweeted or responded to that poll we did, Image won. So I guess it's a good thing we started covering Image books.
I felt kind of bad that Aftershock commented on it as well, and I felt bad because they weren't. I think in 3 years they're gonna rank a lot higher up. Sure. They're just too. They're very new.
They're very new, and they don't this week they didn't have any books come out, kind of thing. So they just don't. They don't have the spread quite yet.
Yeah,
and I think they're getting there. And the stuff they're putting out is quality. It's good stuff. So
and for all we know, too, people could have just didn't vote for that one because they just weren't in the voting. You know what I mean? I'm sure there are people out there that like that too, though.
Yeah. Oh, they're just really. When were they? When did they start? Do you know?
Aftershock?
Yeah.
I think it was late 2015, but I think their first book didn't come out until the January of 2016.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
they're really new.
They're
very new.
But they have a lot of really good names and a lot of really good books.
because I'd even heard them pop up before we started doing the podcast. So.
Yeah.
Right.
So
this is super legit. We're pulling the name out of a hat, literally. So.
Ariel the Oracle wrote down all the names of the people that either retweeted it or I think there were 9 or 10 total. And there were a lot of people that and Dexter's taking a picture.
Photo proof.
Yeah.
Oh, turn my phone off.
Here, you want me to?
Sure.
Since I got the angle here.
All right. So. Yeah, dead sound. This is great for a podcast.
I'm getting the drum roll going.
Yeah, no.
I'm just not going to be in it.
All right. We don't want sick people. No, wait, I'm sick. This is it. Are you taking the picture?
Yep, there we go.
All right, and here's the name. We'll tweet that just for proof.
Oh, yeah.
And the winner is J.M. Bryan.
J.M. Bryan.
Yeah.
So, J.M. Bryan, you won.
Congrats.
He's our patron.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh, so I still haven't sent out his
the book. Yeah.
So that's actually great because that's
we got a bunch of stuff to send you. Yeah.
I guess we can send you both things.
You get a giant box of stuff.
You get the deluxe package.
Yeah. You get God Country #1 and Arrow Comics
I hope everyone knows we're honest people here and we're not just having him win.
No, we drew it straight up out of a hat. Yeah. So yeah.
But yeah. So and then this coming week, we do have a trivia question for to hand out the comic that we're going to be covering The Few. And I believe the question was, what year was Image Comics founded? So if you, the first person to tweet that at us will win the comic The Few by Image Comics. Published by them. It's by Sean Lewis and Hayden Sherman. And maybe that is a good segue into talking about the book.
Heck yeah, man.
All right.
iTunes review contest.
Oh, yeah.
That's not over yet. We
still have the month of January. So for iTunes, if you go over and give us a review, we will not only read it on air, I guess, but we will, at the end of the month, be handing out either an Indie Comics shirt that I had made by Johnny Five Apparel, or...
They look great.
Yeah, you're wearing it.
Yeah, it feels super comfortable.
They're nice.
Yeah, they're those nice American Apparel shirts.
It's actually not. I realized that.
Oh, well, but they feel like those.
It's
soft
like
American,
that tri-blend. That tri-blend.
It's comfortable. I had mine on a couple of days ago, and
sure.
then I washed it, and I was looking for it, and my wife took it. She goes, "Do they have them for women?"
No, I have the unisex. Is all I got.
So I was like, I can get a small or something.
Yeah.
That way you can leave mine alone.
Yeah. That's how it always happens. Whenever I get a shirt, my wife is always like, "I'm taking that."
She takes all my
dude. I have a Ray Gun hoodie that is my favorite, and
it's gone.
Every time she does laundry, man, like the next day she's wearing it, and she doesn't even hear us right now.
That's okay.
Or she's ignoring us. Either way.
She'll have something on. I'm just like, dude.
The other thing that you can win, though, is a Batman Joker / Joker Batman Funko Pop figure.
It is a combination.
That was exclusive to the Loot Crate.
Yep.
So if you missed that completely, like I did, I know, you can have a chance to win it. You have 2 chances to win if you comment or leave a review on our iTunes or the sister channel, being Nerd Church Radio.
Yep. So leave us an iTunes review. You're entered into one chance to win those 2 things. Leave Nerd Church Radio an iTunes review. You're entered into a second chance. And man, like once Glitch Therapy goes live, we're gonna have like
3 chances.
Yeah, it's gonna be a trifecta of contests where we're gonna have like something for indie comics and something for DC Comics and something for gaming, and like people are gonna be winning cool stuff. So it's gonna be fun.
Yeah. So
yeah.
Awesome.
But don't wait for that. Do it now.
No. Yeah, true. Very true. Yes.
Tell your friends.
Yes. Tell all your friends.
So anyway, let's get started on the comic The Few. I don't know. I read through this pretty quick, I guess, just to start off with things.
It was a very quick
read. Not a lot of words, a ton of action, and I was really confused.
Yes.
I was really surprised though when because I stopped on the way here to get the print version, since we're going to be giving it out for that prize, just as a reminder. But it's really thick.
It is actually, I was just about to comment on that, and like I wanted to know how many pages is in this thing.
Yeah.
And it can't be 30. It is...
It's less than that, I swear.
It's a 56-page book.
Jeepers.
Yeah, that's almost twice the size of a normal comic book.
Yeah,
Normally they're like 28 pages.
I mean, it's a $5 book, though, so that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, well, yeah, I can see it being $5. I mean, I don't know. What did you guys think of the artwork on this book?
Well, should we give a synopsis first?
Yeah, I guess. Okay. Yeah, I'm getting ahead of myself.
So, as far as I can tell, it's post-apocalypse, and there seems to be several factions. Did anyone actually write a review, I suppose? No?
Nope.
Okay. I read it right before I came, so...
Yeah, I did too.
So there seems to be post-apocalypse America. There are several factions, and there's this one in particular that is led by a gentleman by the name of Herod, I believe, which just immediately brings back memories of reading the story of Jesus at his birth, especially with... it's basically about this lady, I believe, who is protecting a baby. So anyway, so it starts off where she's running away with this baby, being chased down by these militiamen. Just being chased down by these 2 guys, and they knock her out and they carry her off. But then there's a bit of a flashback, and it turns out that Herod, somebody did something that he didn't like, and so he, I think, killed the guy and then killed everyone who was related to that guy in some way, as far as I could tell. And so this baby was handed to this lady to save the baby from being killed in this massacre.
It almost seemed like genocide or something that they were doing. I mean, they were killing everyone in this village.
Yeah, they were taking them all out.
Yeah, which is what really brings, like, makes me think the whole Jesus story, because that's what Herod did when he found out that Jesus was born.
Oh, okay, cool.
Right.
And so I don't know if there's any sort of metaphor here for that, but just that's all I could think of the whole time I was reading this. But anyway, so the lady runs into the forest with this baby. She then, as what happened at the beginning of the book, gets knocked out, taken away by these two guys who... It seems to be an older gentleman and his kid, possibly.
I think they're brothers, actually.
They're brothers. Okay,
Yeah.
And then that's where it really got confusing for me. So it seems like the militia tracked him down to a cabin, and then these guys were fairly prepared for such a thing, and it looks like they gassed the place and lit it, and they end up escaping. Essentially, and I think it looked like they killed everybody, all the militiamen chasing them. So tons of action. And now they're all wearing some pretty cool armor, actually. I really liked this second to last page where they're all just kind of standing there wearing like these helmets and looking like robots. And then it turns out that they are like militiamen for another faction that I was really kind of confused about too. So it seems like another area of the United States was kind of its own something going on, and these are they say basically the line. There's not. Let's see. Basically, he says that we are few, which I think is where the name of the comic comes from.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah. There aren't many of us left. We're the last militia against the palace. Militia, we're few. But what's left of us is out there, and then there's this big splash of just mountainy hilliness and forest, it looks like.
Cool splash.
Yeah, it's
Double
nice.
splash page. Yeah.
It's very nice. So, I mean, I don't know. I was really confused the most of it. I don't know what to think about this. I guess I look forward to reading the next one just to kind of hopefully clear some things up.
Yeah.
I liked the action. I got really, but like I said, I was really confused about what was going on a lot of the time.
I think the confusion though is warranted because they don't tell you a whole lot. Like even in the very beginning, when you see the map of the United States,
they don't explain what's going on.
It shows these territories, and it basically gives you the impression that okay, we have the United States of America. Something happened where there's only chunks of territories left. So it's like the what do they call it? Well, they call it like the leftover, or what is it, of the United States? They call it something specific. I forget what it's called, but
this map it says crazy. Palace drinking water status critical at the top, and then it has like a little I guess thing at the bottom key palace control, which is kind of sporadic. It looks like the eastern and western seaboard, and then North and South Dakota, and then in red is clean water, which is like sporadic throughout the states in between.
Yeah, so it gave me the impression that they're going to be fighting over these resources. Mad Max style.
Oh yeah, it does kind of have that feel.
It does have a very Mad Max feel, especially. I feel like the art style really lends towards that. Which gets back into your question. How does everyone feel about the art style?
I mean, I know typically we jump right over to Andrew for this, which he
seems
to be thinking.
I'm trying to work on that though, because
he has a furrowed brow on this one. No, I mean, if I can go in, I the initial when I first started looking at it, I'm like, I don't know, because it's really like. I don't know. It didn't hit me at first as far as like enjoying it, but as the story kind of unfolded a little bit more, and the minimalistic way he was going about it with just here's a splash of red only.
Right. Well, that's the only color.
And that's the only color
thing.
he uses in the intro until the end when he uses the green.
Right.
At the very end.
Yeah.
That's it. So it's very, very minimal how he did it, and I grew to enjoy it as I kept going with it, and I saw how he was using it.
Well,
but on first glance, I did not like it.
It's interesting because it's got a very like Sin City vibe.
Exactly.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's so weird that you said minimalistic because like when it comes to comic books, me personally, I love the kinds of books where you have I don't know. To me, like a story is all about setup, and that's one of the problems I had with Wicked and Divine was the setup for that story.
Yeah.
I was like,
go ahead.
And we'll get into that in a bit. Yeah. But this one, like, when they jump right in, and there's minimalism in terms of like how many words are on the page, and they just show you things happening.
I like that a lot.
That I love that because you're fully immersed in some type of pictorial story that's like you know what's going on. There's no words that are needed. It's simple, clean cut. You know what's happened, and then you get to the story. Like, you need to grab me first when I start reading a comic, because if you start off with a bunch of confusing shit, like I'm gonna immediately kind of be like dragging through
just
the book,
beating you over the head
like,
with text and everything.
Waiting for it to get better.
It's funny you saying it, like how it just jumps right into it, because I realized that we hadn't really given like the full creative team, right?
Oh yeah, sorry.
And so no, it's fine, but it helped me realize, like I'm leafing through this whole book. I'm like, where is the title page? There's no freaking title page. And then I finally get to the like literally the page after the last page is the title page,
which I
it's
like
at the
that
very
too,
end.
personally.
Yeah, that's cool.
So all the credits, I guess, it looks like there's only 2 major credits, like we said before. It's Sean Lewis, written by Sean Lewis, art by Hayden Sherman.
Yeah, that's a very image style of doing. There's
just 2 guys.
Yeah, just 2 guys or gals, 2 people. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, these are, I'm presuming, guys, I guess, by their first names. I'm really, I mean, that's what it looks like, just those 2 people. But cool. Now that Andrew's had a chance to really look at it, what do you think of the art, man?
Busted. I'm always torn between books like this, because a few of these pages would make just gorgeous prints.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
Like some of the woods and some of the scenes are really cool, and great use of color. This use of a muted palette can be really effective in these type of stories. Mm-hmm. But there's just sometimes, and this is kind of just personal taste. Mm-hmm. I like loose inking when artists do that, but I don't necessarily like loose drawings, because there's certain pages and panels that take me out of the story during that. Mm-hmm. And it's cool, like in especially this type of story, like a post-apocalyptic, like a grungier art style, I think works for that. It kind of gives you that Mad Max feel or whatever. But
totally.
But there's just certain panels, especially like the longer shots or things like that I just, me personally, can't get into that, and like just takes me out of. So it's a mix. Like some of it's really cool, and some of it I'm just like meh.
That part of it I want to agree with you on, because on some of the longer shots, it was hard to decipher who's who, because they kind of look similar.
Exactly.
And it's not really clean as far as, okay, who's talking, who's being addressed, what's happening.
Well, especially at the end when they all get their helmets on, I'm just like
who's who?
It was hard to understand who put what helmet on. They look really similar.
Yeah.
I mean, you can kind of tell by their height, maybe.
Exactly.
But when they're running around, like, you have no idea.
It can be a little discombobulating at times.
For sure. Especially on the phone. I mean, it's nice to get it in print now and really get a good look at it.
Yeah.
On the phone, it was
like a digital
impossible.
copy. Yeah.
The digital. It was almost, I mean, reading it maybe on a computer would help a lot, but reading it on my phone, I had no idea what was
still
going on.
refuse to read comics on my phone. I just like, because I just use the preview app on the Mac, because I can get a 2-page view and it's decent. But phone just, I don't know. I have bad eyesight too sometimes, so it's hard for me to read.
I feel like it was a roller coaster for the most part, as far as the visuals. Like there were times where it's like, oh, that looks really awesome how he drew that, and then there's other times where it's like, what's happening here? Like I can make out some of it. I feel like I'm looking at one of those old pictures you look on the wall. Like, do you see the schooner?
Schooner is a sailboat.
Do you see the boat and the
and that's the thing. It's almost drawn in storyboard fashion.
Yeah,
I mean, like comics are so
thought,
similar to storyboards, but this is just like, I want to show you this action, but I'm not spending much time on this panel type of thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just
like,
some have more attention paid to them, I feel like. So.
Yeah, like, and I was thinking that when I was reading it too. I was like, I feel like these are the sketches that they did before they made the comic, and then they gave the wrong ones to the publisher. Which, I mean, that's a really harsh thing to say, and I think the art is fantastic.
And that's the thing,
it's
like
just in certain moments,
you can tell that the artist is obviously really talented,
for sure,
just because of, I mean, that they're solid drawings. It's just sometimes a little sketchier than my taste enjoys.
I feel like they could just rein it in just a little bit more. Mm-hmm. You can have this style and rein it in a little bit and have it go through really well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, and that being said too, like, I'm kind of wondering if once we get a couple issues in, if it's one of those things that you get used to. And
I think it could.
You'll be able to pick the people out because you're used to reading them and seeing them in the imagery and stuff.
Yeah.
It's kind of like playing certain video games. I almost feel like where like, I know sometimes when I'm playing a game, my wife walks in and she has no idea what's going on. But I've been sitting there for 5 hours playing it, and I know exactly what's going on.
Or even the controls on a game. You know?
Yeah.
You're like, oh man, this is too much. And before you know it, a couple hours in, you're like not even thinking about it.
Yeah.
So
I know I'm very interested in reading this. Getting into a rating, I guess I would give this.
How many?
Speaking of which, there's shurikens. throwing stars are shurikens.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like that's not common knowledge.
No, yeah.
I feel like we should still just say ninja star.
How many shurikens do you get?
Shuriken. So anyway,
Gonna be that? Is that the robe that the girls wear? Like
that's
geisha.
Geisha
girls.
Yes.
Well, yeah,
Geisha,
what's the robe
shuriken.
called?
Or a gi.
That's
a fighting
that's
kimono or something.
A kimono.
Kimono.
There it is for the win.
I was like, is that dragon or is that I don't know.
We're gonna be stupid Americans and just call them ninja stars.
So anyway, I would give this. I'm gonna say 7 ninja stars.
As we sit in our kimonos and no bottoms, guys. Yeah.
No, but I really did like the action. I liked this where the story's going. So I'm gonna give this 7.
Yeah.
7.
That's about what
stars.
I was at too. About a 7.5, right in there. It was interesting, but I want to see where it's gonna go. The art still is kind of iffy for me, but it's not bad. It's just not really for me exactly. But I think I can get past it if I keep going.
Cool. I guess you can't rate it. Huh?
No, I
you
focused on other
probably.
books.
What would you rate the art though?
The art.
If you had to
man.
rate it. I got him. Huh?
Remember that we're giving this comic away.
I got him on the hook.
Oh man, you got me. Can I do half stars? Like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna say 6.5. Like,
all right.
There's certain pages that are like so cool and that I'd like want to frame and put up. Like, especially some of the motorcycle ones and some of the like in the woods ones are like super cool. Yeah. So I don't know. It's just not necessarily my flavor. So that's where I'd put it.
I hear that.
Sure.
I give it I don't know, man. Like a 6.5, I think is as a whole 6.5 or 7. I think it's a really good book. It's funny that we're sending this out with Arrow Comics, just because you've read Arrow Comics, right?
I don't know what Arrow Comics is.
Tara and Allie's book.
Oh, Arrow, yeah.
The one from last week, yeah,
the one that we
I
gave away.
needed some context.
You read it though, right?
Yeah.
So the Few is kind of similar to that,
very much,
in more ways than one.
Yeah, because that one has like a sketchier style.
Reach back and grab that. It's on the table back there.
There we go.
Yeah, Andrew or Mondo, you can flip through that if you want to. But that's also kind of a dystopian type thing.
Oh yeah, this is from last week.
And I'm dying for us all to read it and talk about it. The problem is, I think I'll have Tara email me like a PDF of it because she'll do that for me if we review it. But they're also both sketchy stories. So I mean, like it's good that they're going out together. I think that'll be good.
Yeah.
Still a good book though.
So on average, it sounds like we gave it about 6 and 3/4 stars.
Yeah. Before we go any further, I did have one thing I wanted to mention. We're an indie comics podcast. There are 2 individuals that I know of that I listen to podcast on Geek History Lesson. Their names are Jason Inman and Ashley Robinson. And they do amazing content. I believe Jason or both of them, I think both of them work for DC All Access. And they do Geek History Lesson. They do all sorts of sweet content, but they're putting a comic book out, and they have a Kickstarter right now that I donated to last week. The comic's called Jupiter Jet Comics, and their Kickstarter is located at jupiterjetcomic.com. And they have prizes if you donate to them. I think if you don't, there's a certain amount where you get a digital copy. There's a certain amount where, there's a lot of different things. But I actually reached out to them because if you donate, if you were listening to an episode of Geek History Lesson and you donate, you're supposed to email them and they'll send you a postcard or something. And I mentioned in there that we run an indie comics podcast and we'd love to interview them, and they actually got back to me and were like, let's do that.
That's awesome.
That's what's up.
They got a lot of listeners, so that might be pretty cool.
Absolutely.
This is a really cool looking book too. I'm excited about that.
Yeah, man, it's I don't know the details of the plot yet, but I'm gonna see and the interview's unconfirmed. I don't know. We're trying to work out schedule and stuff right now, but that would be great because they're 2 very knowledgeable and passionate individuals that they do what we do, but they've been doing it for a lot longer, so they pretty cool stuff. Check out their podcast, Geek History Lesson. They give you it's kind of cool because like it's organized by by person. Each episode is a history lesson on a particular comic book or pop culture character. So you can go back through their episodes and they did one on, Robin or Dick Grayson or something. And, it's
That's
not like
cool.
time sensitive stuff. It's like, it's almost like an encyclopedia of stuff that you can go through. So yeah, I just wanted to plug that a little bit. They're super close to funding. I think it's for like 10,000 that they're trying to get
it
up.
looks like 14.5 is their goal, and they're at almost 13,000.
Yeah.
Nice.
And it's been up for 3 days, I think.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah.
It makes me want to start a Kickstarter so bad.
They have
most people flop with them.
I know.
Yeah. And they have a lot. They have a wide audience, and I mean,
That's
they did this right too. Like, if you look through that, they actually had like legitimate comic book writers do script reviews for them.
Yeah.
And I mean, they have people that wrote script reviews, and those are available on their Kickstarter, I believe. But I mean, they did it right. They weren't just like, hey, let's write a comic and put it up there. I mean, this is a very planned out thing that they do.
Oh, yeah.
Well, and one thing to know about Kickstarter is they do no marketing for you.
No, absolutely not. They're just
that's why you podcast, though, man.
Yeah,
then you got an audience if you ever do anything like that. So
And Indie Comic Ninja comic book coming out soon.
Actually, Andrew and I were working on one. We kind of, I think, like, we're at the stage right now where I'm trying to get the script written, but I'd like someone to work on the script with me. My wife does a little bit, but it would be nice to have.
I'll work on it with you if you like.
Yeah.
That being said, I have a script as well.
Do you?
Ramondo?
No,
I do. I have a script written for a comic.
Let's do it.
Okay, like a full script written?
It's for like an introduction one, and then I have a plot for like the bulk of it. I suppose
we should talk about it, man, because like I've been doing some development artwork that I've been posting too for the punks I'm
interested in that
the punk stuff. So
well, and I thought that would work, and the one Andrew and I were kind of tossing around a little bit is called Skeeros, which is Skeeros, and it's about skateboarding heroes in like high schoolers that are given superpowers and they skateboard, and it's kind of like a mix of like a punk and superpower,
like Power Rangers-y.
Yeah, kind of Power Rangers-y, which I mean, that's when you're writing comic books, you're always going to hit tropes.
For sure.
Like I think the point is just.
I didn't mean that in a bad way.
No. But it's a very. I think you should just hit them intentionally, and just dive right in and do it. I think it would be fun to do something like that and really embrace the kind of cliche '90s Power Rangers type stuff.
Are they going to be embodied by the Illuminati?
No.
There will be
touching
there will be no
Illuminati.
Casanovas, no Illuminati.
I'm looking at you real serious, like just waiting for your answer.
You can't do my book then. The main character is Casanova.
Is Casanova?
Casanova Illuminati is his last name.
telling
You're
you.
so full of shit, Dexter.
I'm telling you, this is all a ruse.
I actually want to do that now. We should make a
just like the most
comic.
ridiculous over.
Yeah, I like it.
I think Andrew secretly likes the Casanova name. He just tells us this each week, and then he gets in the car and he turns on his favorite song.
It's like secretly my name. Or
He gets in his car and he turns on the audiobook of Casanova, and then he goes home,
That's all.
gets under his Casanova
Casanova
blanket.
That's
and
all his passwords. It's like Casanova 1 2 3 4.
Okay,
you have
so
access to my bank account now.
Maybe we should get back on top.
Let's get back on top.
So what's the next book? You
want to do Wicked and Divine?
Do we want to do that, or since only one of you were the only one that read curse words?
Yeah, can I pitch curse words really
Go
quick
for
and
it,
just
yeah.
talk to you about it? Because it's so freaking weird.
It looked really good, and I really wanted to read it.
So have you ever heard of God Hates Astronauts?
Yes.
The art style in this is very similer to that. It's very psychedelic. It's like you took a bunch of acid and like read a comic. It's super weird, like colors and stuff. So this wizard and his assistant, which happens
it's like a modern day wizard, I assume.
Yeah,
based on he's like wearing like a shirt and tie.
Oh yeah, and we'll get into it a little bit. But this wizard and his assistant, which happens to be a small talking koala, are hanging out, and he's a wizard for hire in New York, right? And so like this dude's like asking him to like, I want to be metal, make me metal. And and this wizard, by the way, has 3 rules, and they're very similar to the rules of Robin Williams' genie character in Aladdin.
Okay.
No cures, no wars, no love. Those are his 3 rules.
Cannot bring anyone back from the dead.
Yes. So he turns this guy into metal, and then some other wizard shows up and kills the guy, and they have this big battle, or right about to start a big battle. So then we jump back in time. And we jump back to when this wizard arrived in our world, And I guess he was sent to our world to actually destroy it. And it shows you going through from day 1 to day 2.
The main character wizard?
Yep, the main character.
He was sent to destroy the world, okay.
Yep, and it takes you through like day 1, day 2, day 3, day 36, and he's like getting all the things together to build this potion to destroy our world or whatever. And on day 36, he's looking down from his tower and he sees this cute couple laying on a blanket or whatever. And he imagines himself with a girl. And so he decides not to destroy the world, actually. Awesome. He decides to become a part of this world. So he then goes and gets his hair cut and gets fitted for, some people clothes. And actually, his assistant was a mouse that talked. But look, you see the mouse pointing at a picture of a cute koala.
That's nice.
And
awesome.
the koala's name is Margaret. And there's now like
Obviously.
Twitter things because this wizard turns into a wizard for hire. He's famous now. So now there's all these little tweet things. It's like Margaret is the best. # Team Margaret. And so like but like back in his homeworld, there are people that sent him here to destroy this world. So
he's an alien, I guess.
No, he's from another dimension. He's a wizard from another dimension. So now this bad guy right here is sending his minions to kill this wizard for not destroying our world. And that's where we end off. There's a big battle between those two, and we kind of end off there.
Nice.
Super weird, super psychedelic, but super awesome. And I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it because we're short on time. What were you going to say, Andrew?
I dig the art, man. It's cool, really bright, vibrant.
Yeah, it's just kind of one of those freewheeling, weird...
We do what we want stories.
Yeah, and it's a mind trip, man. It's a very...
Just flipping through, I'm just like, wow, this goes all over the board.
Yeah, it does. It's very, very wily.
They're battling in a freaking baseball diamond.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
I'm like, this is crazy.
And he actually destroys the baseball diamond because they all saw him, and the guy who was fighting was like, he was about to be defeated, and he realized he was about to die. So he told all the people in the audience, like, you don't even know who this guy is, man. He's here to kill all of you. And the wizard defeats him, and then he's like, well, shit, now I gotta destroy this stadium. So he kills all the people in the stadium and flies off. But he's designated himself as kind of the protector of the earth now. But he's also willing to keep his secret. So he's kind of an anti-hero in a way.
Yeah, that's interesting.
But very, very interesting story. I give it an 8 out of 10. I really enjoyed it.
Wow.
So yeah, a lot of fun.
It's interesting how social media has affected comics and just how comics just reflects society a little bit, Like
That's
there was
very interesting.
There was something in the Wicked and Divine about like Vine. And just like in some of the other books we've read too.
There's a lot of about
even
social
like
media
Instagram.
and Wicked and Divine.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, all throughout history, it's like that. Art imitates life, or does life imitate art? It's always a question. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So.
I like it when they reflect certain things like that
Yeah.
through comic books. It makes it, it's more real to us,
Gives it
and
relevance.
it's relevant to us. I liked it in this book a lot better than I liked it in Motor Crush. In Motor Crush, it was a little crazy. So,
or are you talking about in curse words there?
I liked it better in curse words,
Okay.
yeah, because in Motor Crush it was just a little too flamboyant. It was just there was too much of it.
That's
it was
one
like,
where I felt like it's like okay, a little
let's
less
reel
on
it
that
in like
stuff.
a little bit, yeah. So we're at 37 minutes here, and we still got to talk about our graphic
Wicked
novel of the week. So yeah, let's get to that.
Yeah,
Yes.
so anyone want to give the synopsis for the Wicked and the Divine?
Dude, I don't think I could do it if I wanted.
I don't think I could.
It was
I mean, I could give a really short one.
Just
give them that short and
So
sweet.
high level.
So the whole basis of it is every 90 years, I think it's 12 gods are reborn because of this one old lady that I can't.
Ankin or something.
Yeah. So she goes around and she finds the gods who have been reincarnated. Usually, it seems like as teenagers, and she reveals to them, "You are a god." And from that point on, they kind of gain their. I don't know if they gain their memories back or if they just kind of realize it, and they can pretty much do whatever they want. It seems like
they have powers
based on specific powers. So they're kind of based on the gods that we kind of know from different mythologies. There was like a sky god that primarily uses like thunder and lightning. That they thought that he might have done this thing, but the whole thing was like that was done with fire, so he couldn't have done it, kind of thing. So the whole premise of the story is they're all pop singers, and this girl who has gone to see all of them in concert except for one of them who's like an underground pop star, literally. And so she gets taken backstage by Lucifer, who is exactly who you think she is, and to meet everybody. But at that point, there was an assassination attempt, and Lucifer just gets sick of it, blows up the heads of the two people that were shooting at them, presumably. And then she goes to court for those murders, and then she's all like, really? People can just snap their fingers and blow up people's heads? Here, I'll just do it right now. And then the judge's head blows up, but she didn't do that.
Yeah, that was a mistake.
She claims she didn't do it and that somebody else did it. And then the other gods kind of ignore her while she's in prison. And then the fangirl kind of goes back and forth, is talking to a reporter, talking to the different gods, goes back and tells Lucifer, hey, everyone's just kind of leaving you here to dry because of you shouldn't have done that. Because they try to stay very secret and hidden with their powers. And she was very flamboyant and outspoken with it. And then she breaks out of prison, goes on a rampage. Then she gets the underground pop singer to kind of help them out. So
Morgan,
they take,
I think.
yeah, Morgan.
Oh, yeah.
Well, Morgan, and she also goes by a couple other names. And when she goes by different names, she kind of has a different personality.
Yeah, she's like got a split personality.
Yeah, that was actually one of my more favorite characters. But anyway, so they take her into this like safe house to kind of get Lucifer like calmed down. And she finally does calm down. She's going to go turn herself back in, I think, possibly. And as soon as she steps out...
alert.
Yep. As soon as she steps out of the house, that old lady in whatever her name was... just blows her head up.
She's like...
Snaps her fingers.
Yeah, she's
Yeah,
like,
everything's
"Don't
done
do
with
it."
with the snap of a finger, it seems like.
Yeah.
And then at the very, very end, it kind of goes through the fangirl who's kind of there for the whole ride. She's talking about how like everything's really surreal, and she kind of is just sitting there watching the news as everyone's flashing her picture up on the news and stuff. And then she finds the pack of cigarettes that Lucifer threw at her kind of right before she died, more or less, and realized that there's one cigarette left. And so she pulls it out and then snaps her fingers and lights the cigarette. So presumably she took on the power of Lucifer.
Yeah.
So
Right.
that was something that I
got
was
the
super
power.
confused about, like what that meant.
I think she was rewarding her
Well-
because earlier she promised her that she was going to give her power.
Well,
if she
but then she
assisted her.
revealed that was a lie.
Yeah,
Yeah, and then
But I
she
think at the
still
last
came
minute-
through to help her,
Yeah.
even though
Yeah.
she knew there was
So I think
nothing
she
in it for
rewarded
her.
her.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so that was a reward. Yeah.
And she knew she was going to die for the most part because Lucifer's like, well, I'm not going back. This is how it's going to have to be. I'm going to die anyway. So
Yeah.
screw it all. Whatever.
I'm wondering though if it was that old lady who gave her, because like Lucifer died, but
Do you think maybe she? Gave
but
it
I'm
to
wondering
her?
if she just kind of transferred the power.
Well, and there's something that we forgot to mention, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know if you did.
I did a quick
So
one over, so.
the gods or whatever, once they're given their power, they're only
Oh.
given 2 years to live.
Yeah.
And so
Crazy.
And like most of them are kind of like sad about it, except for.
So are they reborn
Like,
like in different ages? Like 'cause
Yes.
they're-
Yeah.
Okay.
Every 90
So
years.
at the beginning of the comic,
But like, yeah, there's one of the gods that's like 14 years old, and they're only gonna live till they're 60. And then
Yeah.
Lucifer was like a middle-aged woman, or almost. I mean, it's
no, she was a teenager.
she was she was supposed to be a teenager.
She was just dressed
older.
up like
no
she was
shit.
older.
Oh wow,
I thought she was like in
Because
her
she
mid-20s.
she told the story of when that lady came to talk to her, and that she was like a 13-year-old.
I thought she was 17.
Oh yeah.
There
you
go.
know who could?
Yeah,
play,
yeah, she was 17.
You know who could play her if this was developed into a... Have you guys ever watched Glee?
No.
No.
Why would you ask us that?
Oh man, I can't think of... she's been in so many...
Are you
It's
talking
the
about the lady that's she's also
short
in like
blonde hair?
I was just watching on TV Role Models. She was like the counselor lady. She was like, look,
Dude, she kind of does look like that lady. I
you
know
know
who
what
you're
I'm talking about. I can't think of
yeah.
her name right
Hold
now.
on.
Was she the
hold
gym
on.
teacher?
She's the gym teacher
Yeah,
on Glee.
this lady.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Yep.
She's also in
She's-
a 40-year-old virgin as the
Dude, she could so
the
play
store
Lucifer on
manager.
this show, though.
the store manager.
Yeah, it's
yeah, she's awesome.
BSJ.
I can't think of her name though.
I'll find out. We can.
She's
keep
won like
going,
awards
sorry.
and stuff.
Yeah, she's good in everything she's in though.
Yeah. I think it starts off, it looks like in their previous incarnation where like it looks like they're in an older time.
It's like
about
the
100
40s.
years ago.
Or 1923 is when
Yeah,
it was.
there we go. And it's the end of their line where they all kind of decide, they're all kind of sitting in this circle around a table, and they just decide it's the end. The old lady leaves the house, and then it looks like only 4 of them are there. And then there's a bunch of skulls for the other ones.
And that could be a reason because she said that they stay out of mortal lives for the most part, but they can't hurt them. But if they govern themselves, so they fight each other a lot and kill each other. So they must have killed each other at some point.
Yeah, they've had to fight each other maybe.
Yeah.
And that was something that was confusing is like, why do they die after 2 years? And like, because like in this first scenario where they all decide to like they kill themselves, and the old lady convinces them to do it.
Jane Lynch. Sorry.
Jane
Lynch.
Yes.
Oh, I kept picturing the lady from Doctor Strange who played the old master.
Oh yeah, she could. Yeah, I don't think she's kind of like as like bitchy enough to.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Have you seen Snowpiercer? She can be real bitchy.
Oh, she was good in that.
I don't mean to offend anyone with that term. I know people get touchy about that term.
Oh, I suppose so. But she's kind of like the warden in Snowpiercer, so she's like always going around like telling people what to do.
But I mean, come on, Lucifer can be kind of a bitch.
The
devil can be kind of a bitch.
I don't think you have a hard time finding somebody to play Lucifer if you really had to dig through. There's a lot of good people.
I just didn't understand
Tilda
why.
Swinton. Oh, she was in that type of role in Constantine, the movie, too.
That's it. Yeah, she was Gabriel, right?
Yeah. So you're right. Yeah.
So
okay, sorry.
Maybe
keep cutting
that's
you
where
off.
I got
Go
it.
ahead.
Yeah.
Point goes to Andrew.
Boom. Okay, so yeah, I'm being the next casting director, right? If you ever want to cast this. So. No, I didn't understand why these gods who all have power listen to this old lady.
Well, because
like she's the keeper and she knows things.
I'm presuming she's just the most powerful of them.
But she doesn't die though. She's
the only one that's allowed to live. Yeah,
she's the only one that lives on. She doesn't die every 2 years. She just lives.
Yeah, it's just that's part of the story that's not super explained. Is like kind of their relationships between each other.
And I wonder if in the next volume, especially with this new girl, like this girl freshly becoming a god, if that's going to be explained better.
So and that was another thing is like, is she a god now or is she just like a minion? Because Lucy had talked about,
the other ones having minions.
Demonizing them or whatever.
And this is part of the issue.
How much is that of that was a lie? Yeah.
This is part of the issue I have with this book, though, is there's a lot of that stuff that I feel like they just. I don't know.
It moves really fast.
I almost can't.
It does. Yeah.
It's hard for me to rate the whole book. I really want to rate like the first half and the second half because the first half I felt like was really like a 3-star. Like I really didn't like it. But the second half I'm like 7. Maybe 7.5, So I guess you slap them together, I'm at like 5 or 6 stars for a total. But like, I don't know. I also have to say the artwork is outstanding.
Dude, Jamie McKelvey, right?
Yeah.
That's who.
Who's the creative team on this? We didn't say yet, but so good.
Okay, writer is Kieran Gillen, artist Jamie McKelvey, colorist Matt Wilson, letterer Clayton Cowles, designer Hannah Donovan. Editor Chrissy Williams. Oh my gosh, flatter D. Kniff.
Okay,
I don't know. And guest colorist is Nathan Fairbairn,
the designer.
Which, by the way, Nathan Fairbairn. He had remember when that whole dress thing was going on? Is like, what color is this dress? Is it blue?
Oh yeah.
Okay, he had a really cool post for anybody interested in color theory. I think it was on Tumblr or something about like why it. Like a white dress might look orange or blue or green or whatever.
Cool.
So
really?
It's an interesting read for anybody.
I was gonna say too about the art on this. There's a page in particular where Morgan is arguing with I can't think of his name right now. The vampire looking guy with no shirt on.
Starts with a B.
It looks almost 3D,
Bastion?
and I don't know if it's because I was looking at it on a tablet.
Yeah,
but the ghosts. It's an amazing page to me.
Yeah,
it stuck out really, like just the way they drew it and the way that they made it look. The lines,
they're kind of like slightly off from each other to kind of give that 3D effect.
It gives it the 3D effect, and it's so cool.
Yeah, man. I loved the art and the design on it. I think is my favorite part. Like the panel layout and the way they do those covers on every issue, where it's the circular things.
They're all basically movie posters. They're fantastic.
And I love like, so I'm big into character design, and I love Lucy's design. Just like her one streak of black hair is so cool to me. I don't know. She just like
along with the panels too. They kept the gutters thick.
Yeah.
So it's like it kept it all separate,
very clean.
It kept it thick and it kept it clean, so
nice
you knew what's going
on. I like it. Yeah,
it's like you're a designer.
Good. Yeah.
I don't know.
No, I did like.
You're like
what
the only
they
one
did.
here that's not a designer.
Hey man, I gotta do my homowork. I gotta keep.
You're gonna be one after a while.
Exactly.
Yeah. be with the underpaid masses.
Yeah, right. Welcome to that world.
Yeah, I just accepted a new job, by the way, for everyone. I think all you guys know.
Congrats to Ben.
I'm starting February 13th. I'm a digital media designer for Gannett. So they own like USA Today and
a lot of newspaper
Des Moines Register, a lot of newspapers. Yeah, so I'll be designing those annoying ass website ads that you see on your.
That's going to be you now.
Yeah, that's going to be me.
Ben,
so
you asshole.
That's okay.
What are you doing to my book?
Hate me. Yeah,
that's okay. I'm pretty sure I've done some spam emails before, so
yeah,
not intentionally.
As graphic designers, we're always forced to do things that annoy the living shit out of people because advertising really annoys a lot of people.
Yeah,
because it's just obnoxious. But there's an art to making it effective and good too. Right. But that's a conversation for another time. So yeah. Yeah, and I actually worked there for a couple months before. Yeah, it's a fun job. So, all right, cool. Yeah, I don't know how we got off on that. Sorry.
So I don't know. Does anybody else have anything to say? I guess about the comic. I
enjoyed it. I mean, I think Ben hit it on the nail on the head by saying the beginning of the book was a little meh, and then it just kind of grew. And by the end, you were like, this is actually kind of fucking cool.
So the only part to me that I had trouble with was in the beginning where you're introduced into the fangirl and she's getting ready for this show, which I didn't think they were. Well, I thought they were concerts at first, but then they never ended up singing. Okay, so I thought it was like more of like a show where they displayed like their powers, because like the one, like people were literally orgasming at the beginning show. But the thing that was weird with the fangirl is there was a bunch of people who were dressing up like this god or goddess, really, and it wasn't clear to me, since we were just getting to this character. Like, I didn't know who was thinking what, because they were people who were similarly dressed, and it was just, I had to go back through that page a couple of times in order to understand what was happening. But after I kind of got through that, and then the other problem that was difficult for me was just I choke on those names, man. Like,
there's a lot of hard ones in there.
They're all real, like, names of gods. And
exactly. And like that's the thing. It's just I feel like I should have to do some research on some of these just to understand.
They even alluded to that when she
with
was
the Wikipedia thing.
She's like, I Wikipedia.
No, and I was actually like, are they just messing with us to try to get us to get on Wikipedia and do some research on this right now? Because like I kind of wanted to.
I did find it interesting too, though. Like with I think the Baal guy, the Baal.
Yeah,
Baal.
I've always pronounced it as Baal. I don't know.
Whatever.
But yeah, I think Baal's good too. Anyway, but like they kept like arguing about which Baal he is, because like he's been a god for various societies throughout time.
Yeah.
Okay. I think that was the one where they thought like, is he this
that
one
he
that
was
uses
like
fire,
is he like the one who like kills children or like sacrifices children or whatever?
And then when they finally do meet him, he corrects them on which one he is.
Well, and I wonder if this, like, the writer for this just has a ton of background knowledge in this mythology. I mean, I would assume that like a lot of writers are into like mythology and things like that. But there's a lot of knowledge that like I don't have.
I can forgive it as far as that goes. I think that also goes with how we all felt. I don't want to say negatively, but we didn't feel as strongly about the beginning of the book. Yeah, I think that goes into a lot of that, because there's a lot of information being tossed at you. Some of it's ambiguous at times, and you're just kind of like, well, so. Like you said, is it a concert? Is it like something where they're just displaying powers? It's never really fully like hashed out for you. You kind of have to make your own interpretations. And so by the middle of the book to the end, you're just kind of like, I'm going with the ride here. It's fine, whatever. But if they can flesh that out more later, I'd be all in on that.
And that's the thing. This probably could have been a 100-page book just on its own, just if they flesh some of that stuff out more.
Yeah, right. Well, there's more volumes in this. So.
I was gonna say I'm really interested to read, but I kind of want to read because I think the writer really found their stride towards the end of this.
Well, and there's they are really interesting characters and figures, especially like just some of the ideas behind them are really cool. Like when Lucy, she was charged for this murder because she basically killed these two people, right? Who were trying to kill her. So like she was kind of like, this is just self-defense. So, but when she was basically representing herself in court to this judge, and her argument was so great because a lot of people didn't view these kids as gods, and so. She was basically like, you can declare me a god, like have the court rule that I'm a god and I can do this. or you have to find me innocent. So she's basically saying, like, I'll be guilty if you acknowledge that we're gods or whatever. Right. And so it was just I don't know. She just had a cool way of, like, manipulating people.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Her character was probably one of the best throughout the whole book, just her dialogue in general.
Well, and
with most people. It was just really flirtatious and really, like, I could do stuff to you, but I'm not going to. And then, just a lot of wordplay, and I don't know. She's a fun character for me.
Like, as a typical, like, this is Lucifer, it's like, how much do I trust you? And I don't know. That was kind of tough to, like, know what to do.
Yeah. And I thought it was interesting, too, that they never really cleared up how much she was lying.
Yeah. And they just kept it as,
and then they just kill her off.
Yeah, because you don't know if she really did it or not, because the way she looked when it happened, when the judge's head explodes, she looks genuinely surprised.
Yeah.
Like, so maybe one of the other gods could have, like, made it happen.
See, I
so
think
it's
this old lady who's, like, manipulating everything behind the scenes, because she ends up killing.
Maybe she wanted her gun because she was just a pain in the ass or something.
It could be. Well, she's the rebel, right? So.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I guess we got Ben's.
You want to rate
rating?
It?
Would you say?
I don't know, man. After I talk a little more, I always tend to change my rating after we talk about it and discuss it.
Hash out some things.
You do. You learn things. Like, there was a Batman book once that I gave a blasphemy, and we talked about it, and I ended up giving it, like, a holy after, because I didn't understand a lot of it, but after, it was the I am suicide thing, trying to decide, like, why is he suicide? I don't get it. But, so that being said, this one, I want to give maybe 6.5, 7 stars, I think. I think it's a great book. If you go out and buy Volume 1, which you should, don't get discouraged, like, at the first part of it, because that's what I did.
It's very dense.
And if I wasn't doing it for a show, I might have put it down.
Oh, I would have stopped reading it.
Yeah, but it does pay off, and I think it will continue to pay off. I mean, I know it's one of the most popular books for Image, and it's been going on for quite a while. So
okay.
So anyway, what do you guys rate it?
I would agree with you. Like you said, I would have stopped reading it if we weren't covering it. But I'm glad I kept reading it. The second half definitely picked up. I want to read the rest. I want to keep reading it, I guess. So I would give it, I would say 7.5 maybe.
Nice. Mondo?
That's about where I'm at, 7.5.
And I think I really liked it just from the art style wise, and then, like, the archetype characters. I would give it, like, an 8.5. I really enjoyed it.
Nice.
And follow Jamie McKelvey if you don't on Twitter, because he's always posting art and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, and there's a song by No Use for a Name called Not Your Savior. And it's really interesting because it's about a 17-year-old who's like, I'm not, like, I don't know. It was cool because it started playing.
Man. I haven't heard them in a while.
It started playing. It was like on my phone. It started playing towards the end of this book when I was, like, reading about Lucy. And because there's this cool dynamic between Lucy and the fangirl who are trying to help out each other. So anyway, it was like a cool song in there.
Dex, I have a couple things to bring up before we end the show and move on. So I'm interviewing. Do you have any interviews set up for January or February yet?
A local guy who does some comics. I still need to nail it down. Lee Eberhardt, and then JM Brian. I was going to interview him. He has a book coming out in March. He actually has a Kickstarter going on right now. So.
Sick. Oh yeah. Do we want to plug that real quick?
I believe it's called Closer.
Closer.
I think CLOSER.
Okay,
I'm bad at spelling.
We'll plug it next week then once we have a lot of the details on it. And
he has a $500 goal. It's just a digital comic, I think.
Oh, cool.
So if you want to go, maybe go look for it. But I'll be interviewing him for March when the book is, I think, more active. Or maybe it's a different book. I'm not 100% sure on what he's doing.
Okay.
So there's those two that I kind of have lined up.
Awesome. And I'm trying to nail down Jason Inman and Ashley Robinson, talk to them about Jupiter Jet. More info to come on that. But tonight, on my fourth show that I'll be recording today, I'll be so many freaking podcasts. I overbooked the hell out of myself tonight. So I'm going to be interviewing a gentleman who lives in Turkey, and he is a comic book artist, indie comic book artist. His name is Sedat Ozgen, and I'm really looking forward to learning how that's pronounced.
And I've been following him on Instagram. He posts a lot of cool stuff.
He posts amazing stuff. He interacts with his fans.
Yeah.
He does videos on what's that where you can do live videos and stuff. It starts with a P.
Periscope
videos and stuff, so you can watch him. But amazingly talented gentleman, and actually,
I think you sent me this guy. He
has a very cool story as well. So
cool.
There's some pretty cool. Yeah, so that, and then I do want to let everyone know we have a Patreon page.
Yeah, if you go to patreon.com/IndieComicNinja.
Yep.
Everybody's doing it.
Yeah, so
at least one guy.
yeah.
But we have several levels of prizes, I guess. I don't know. For the support. For $1, you get access to our show that we'll be recording right after this,
which is called the post show.
I think
post show.
I called it. Yeah, it's called the Patreon post show. Yeah. And then if on the higher levels, you can get the Indie Comic Ninja sticker to show you that you like indie comic and you might be a ninja. There will be a sticker pack for more indie comic themed stickers. And I think once you get higher, I don't remember what exactly. I think you can get the shirt and you can get more stickers. Basically, I really like shirts and stickers.
Yeah, but I mean,
if you don't like shirts and stickers, I mean, come on.
Yeah,
then just do the $1 because that honestly helps a ton.
For $1 a month, you're getting access to 2 hours every month of extra content that we put out, and then you're also getting rewards in return. So
for sure.
Yep. That's all we got for you tonight. Unless you have anything else, Dex, we're gonna move it on to the post show.
Exactly. I don't know. It's good for me.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Yeah. If you guys want to find me.
Oh right.
Where can we find you guys?
I'm Indie Comic Ninja everywhere.
Yeah, at Nerdy Romondo on Instagram and Twitter.
And you can find me at Andrew Southern on Twitter and Instagram. And I just redid my website this week, studiosouthern.com. So take a look. Tell me what's broken.
Dude, I was showing my wife your art today.
Yeah?
She was digging it.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
I've been talking about you a lot. So, like, Andrew is the jam.
Oh, yeah. So here's something
real quick.
Yeah, real quick.
No, you're fine. Yeah.
There's a company here called the Side Garage. They're a print company or a screen printer, and they're kind of starting up different workshops. It's something I really want to learn to do so I can make some of my illustrations into shirts. And so I'm going to talk to them about that this week.
You got so much good stuff, man.
Thanks,
you should do it.
Thank you.
Get it.
All right, and if you want to find me on Twitter, you can do so at Indie Comic Ben. That's INDIECOMICBEN.
Nice. I like that.
So, do you anything else? I don't know.
I think that's it, guys. Thanks for listening.
Thanks, guys.
We'll move it on to the post show. Have a good week.